What is going on, guys? It is your boy the Timecodes Gaming coming at you again with another video, and today we are doing my week 4 OP10 weekly power rankings update. So this is just my weekly meta report. At this point, we go through the top 10 deck list, we go through the rankings, and we go through the matchups just to see how every deck is performing. In today's top 10, it's looking like more of the same. We have a new deck in the top 10 to go over, so very excited about that. And honestly, I've been losing my mind against Reiju, guys. I feel like whenever I played Reiju, I was like, God damn it, I fucking suck. And then, like, she was never in the top 10. I never heard anyone talking about her. But now I finally have some validation for getting destroyed by Reiju every time I see the deck. Besides that, guys, we're going to be going through every deck list, going through the matchups, as usual, going through the rankings. So I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're on the way to 400 subscribers. And any and all support is very much appreciated. And, guys, it's still freezing outside. I'm in Canada. It is April 18th. Why is it still cold? Any of you Canadians watching, why are we living here? Let's go to Texas. Let's go to the south, guys. It's too cold. I can't stand it anymore. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get right into it. Okay, guys, so getting into the new top 10 rankings, Shanks is back at the #1 slot. He was here 2 weeks ago, and then Dofi took his place, but he has since regained his placement at the top. And it looks like he actually has the highest win rate now, so this has not been the case, I don't think, ever. Dofi started the format at about a 56% win percentage. Dofi's usage was very low, but his win percentage was very, very high. And that has come down probably the most out of any deck from the start of OP10. It started around 56.5%, and it has dropped 4 whole percentage points, which, I mean, as far as I know, that is the furthest drop I've seen so far. So Dofi taking a big hit, but Shanks still doing very well in the format. Everyone and their mother is playing Shanks. 33,215 matches with a 52.49% win rate. Absolutely insane. Next, we have Blackbeard. I did expect Blackbeard to start dropping just because of the uptick in Dofi usage, because last week he was #1, and I expected his usage to jump a little bit more. I think his usage last week was around 9,000 matches. Coming up 2,000 matches is still a good amount, but the Dofi matchup into Blackbeard is really, really tough for Blackbeard, so I expected him to take more of a hit. Let's see what the matchup is looking like now. So Blackbeard into Dofi at 28%. So Dofi's win rate is coming down, so I'm not sure if Dofi will be, like, he'll be prevalent in the meta, but I'm not sure if he'll be so prevalent that Blackbeard will be taking a backseat. And from the looks of it, Blackbeard is doing just fine. And of course, we'll get into the matchups later in the video. And next we have Dofi, guys. I kind of already talked about Dofi, but 11,000 matches played, 52.44% win percentage. Still, actually, Zoro has the highest win percent. Holy shit, 52.95%, even above Shanks. Zoro is just, he's not going anywhere ever. Only 9,000 matches though. But Dofi, Dofi will probably be a top 5 deck for the rest of the format. I don't see him going anywhere at this point. He has established himself as a top 5 deck. With the very high win rate, good usage now, so we're seeing probably a more representative kind of variation of the Dofi, because before his usage was so low, I'm guessing it was probably just the dominant Dofi players just running people over and getting that 56% win rate. But now some of the chumps like me are starting to pick him up, and his win rate is falling a little bit. Next we have Pluffy, guys. Pluffy with 14,500 matches played, 51% win rate. Pluffy was at #2 last week, so dropping slightly, but Pluffy's still looking relatively fine. He has a lot of even matchups, nothing too crazy either way in his direction. But of course, we'll get into that later. Pluffy's just very consistent. I know in the Pasadena regionals, he performed very, very well. Got a lot of top 16s, a lot of top 32s. But Pluffy's in a very good spot at this point in the meta. Next, we have Lim, guys. Lim at the 5th ranked spot. I need to play this deck. To understand the deck, I need to play the deck. Like, when someone's playing it against me, I just kind of, I'm not thinking about what he's doing very much. I just see what he plays, I react to it, but I'm not seeing the strategy behind it. But Lim is just a huge riser here. Lim's been like around the top 10 best decks in the meta, like 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. but rising to 5th with a 51.45% win percentage. Curious to see if anything changed with their list. We will, of course, get into that. And I know Lim dominated the London regionals recently, placing 1st and 2nd in that tournament. So Lim is looking very, very strong, and I need to give it a try. I do like purple, but she just doesn't seem like a purple deck. Like, the ramp seems... I don't know. I don't think Lim deserves that easy of a ramp. That's a really nice ability from Lim. Maybe Kaido should have got that ability. But next guy's getting into the Zoro. Zoro with a 53% win percentage. That is insane. It's probably still Animal Zoro if I had to guess, but we'll check on that. Zoro's just sticking around. He's only this low. He'd be number 1 if matches played wasn't factored into it. But Shanks literally has almost 4 times as many matchups as Zoro does, so that is why Shanks and Blackbeard are getting and all the other decks above him are getting the benefit of the doubt. I'm curious as why Lim is in front, like Lim and Dofi are in front of him, because Zoro has not a much better winning percentage, but a good chunk of winning percentage better than them, and only a couple thousand less matches played. I wonder how big the matches plays in this calculation, but either way, Zoro's still very, very strong. Next, we have Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci coming in at 7th. I'm surprised. Well, I'm not that surprised. He has really good matchups into the Zoro, into the Dofi. Let's see the Lucci or the Lim matchup. I'm not very well versed in that. So the Lim matchup for Lucci is actually losing. I would have expected that to be different. It's not like a bad matchup, but 45%. I would have expected the Lucci to kind of shit on Lim if I was being honest, but I need to play that matchup. Lucci's probably my go-to deck right now. Like, if I had to enter a tournament tomorrow, I'd probably bring Lucci, or to meme, I'd bring Kaido. But Lucci's still looking good in the 7th spot. I would not expect him to go anywhere for the time being. Next, we have Eustace Captain Kid. Eustace Captain Kid's usage has stayed so low throughout OP10. Like, I think last week he might have been like at 3,000 or 4,000 matches played. This week he jumps up to 6,000, 51.71% win percentage. He has a good matchup into Shanks, 53%. A pretty good an okay matchup into Blackbeard, 41%. Eustace Captain Kid is probably my favorite yellow deck ever. Like, I've kind of really disliked the playstyle of like a Nels, of Katakuris, of the Big Mom days. But Eustace Captain Kid is a very fun yellow deck in my opinion, and I do enjoy playing it. Probably my top 3 decks. If I had to go to a tournament, I'd bring a Eustace Captain Kid as well. Next, we have Reiju, and like I said in the intro, guys, Reiju has been giving me problems, like absolutely shitting on me all of the time. Reiju just, I can't, and I thought I was losing my mind because no one was talking about Reiju. She wasn't in the top 10, and now we're finally seeing her make her first appearance in the OP10 ranked sim weekly rankings. 52.16% win percentage. Only 4,000 matches played, so by far the least represented deck here. I'm not hoping, because I don't want to see this deck. Like, I hate playing against it. Just always destroys me. But maybe people will start playing more of her now that she has established herself on this list. 30 to 800 games is very, very low. And lastly, we have the decline of Bonnie. And boy, am I happy to see this. Am I so overjoyed to see this Bonnie be taken to the gutter. I hope she drops off the face of... I don't hate Bonnie that much, but I do... Her leader ability is just broken. Like, how did they print that shit, man? Obviously it's not broken enough, which is crazy. Like, it's crazy that they printed one Dawn Arrest Anything on a leader, and it's not like an auto top 5 deck in the format. But what I feel like Bonnie... I don't play Bonnie, so I'm not in a position to speak on the deck list. But they've been playing the same exact cards since the start of OP10. Nothing has changed. If any, like maybe 1 or 2 cards have flip-flopped here and there, but absolutely nothing has changed with the Bonnie list. And maybe this week will be different. We'll check it out. But I think there just needs to be some innovation. There needs to be some thought going on here behind the deck list. Like, we can't just be ramming our head against the wall. And obviously it's not working, because Bonnie has been slowly dropping this whole time for the past 4 weeks, and finally finding herself. I know for a fact she has not been below 50% win percentage and being at the low 49s is very, very rough for the Bonnie. Yeah, guys, those are the top 10 rankings. Now let's go ahead and get into the deck list. So starting off with our Shanks, let's see, we're running the Nami over the Uta. We're running a combo of 2Ks. We're running the Sanjis, we're running the Hongos. Hongo's a really nice 2K, I really like that. Running the Lucky Roo blocker. We're running the Monkey D Luffy from ST01, the 5-drop Rush Luffy. We're also running the new ST21 Luffy. The ST21 Luffy kind of just goes in every red deck. Honestly, it is very, very strong. And then we're running 3 of the Rayleighs, 3 of the Dragons, 3 of the Shanks, 1 of the Goldie Rogers, 2 of the Mulguns. Mulgun's awesome. That card is very, very good. Next we have the zero cost event, Bad Manners Kick Course. This is kind of Rush Shanks. Like, the Rush helps you get around Blackbeard a little bit easier. And then we also have our staple big drops as well. So kind of a nice variation of Shanks. And similar, well, not similar to the list I made, my last Shanks video. A similar concept to that video. Like, this deck can do fucking anything. It can rush, it can go mid-range, it can go long game. It is just a very, very strong deck and hard to deal with. And that is why it is probably the most played deck in the format. Next we go into Blackbeard, guys. Blackbeard, let's see if we're seeing anything crazy from the Blackbeard players. I know this has kind of been the default Blackbeard list, but what is this, boys? I bid 500 million berries. So I never thought I'd see this card in a top tier deck. Honestly, let's read the main effect. So it's 3 Dawn, activate main. Get up to one of your opponent's cost 1 or lower characters, or return to its owner's hand, or place it at the top or bottom of its owner's life. Then if you have a Celestial Dragon type character, draw 1 card. So I'm guessing this comes up as a discard option. Like, maybe in some matchups you're KOing a 1 cost, but I don't know if there's that many matchups where there's a 1 cost you want to be KOing for 3 Dawn, and you're not running any Celestial Dragons. As far as I know, there are no Celestial Dragons in this deck. And then his trigger is KO up to one of your opponent's cost 6 or lower characters, or return to its owner's hand. That trigger is very, very nice. And if you don't need it, you can just discard it to the Hachinisu or the Blackbeard ability, so it's not really a dead card in your hand as it would be in a lot of other decks. But very interesting. The 4 of I bid 500 million, very, very fucking interesting. Next, getting into the Dofi. Dofi, same thing as Bonnie. They've been playing the exact same list since OP10 came out, or since the Banlist hit. So Dofi, if you need the Dofi deck by now, you should have this. It's just your copy and paste best Dofi deck at this point in the game. Next we have the Purple Luffy. Purple Luffy, they've been messing around a little bit. Like, there's been some variation. We have the 1 of Gamma Knife sneaking in. Besides that, it's looking very generic. Red Purple Luffy. The Kamazo's been here for a couple of weeks now, so nothing too crazy there. We have 2 of the Blocker Kids. I don't know if this card had been making it in, but Blocker Kid, just a very nice blocker. To me, I'd rather play Queen, honestly, in this deck, but I see why you play the Eustace Captain Kid over Queen. Personally, I just like the Queen for the little bit of extra card advantage. But yeah, very nice Purple Luffy list. Next, we have the Limb. The Limb, I looked at this before, and there's 2 things I noticed. 2 things I noticed about this Limb list. God, my neck hurts. 2 things. So 1, we're playing Artificial Devil Fruit Smile from OP10. You know, I never thought I'd see this card ever again. I forgot it existed. It's part of my core memories because it was in the first pack I opened of OP01, but I never ever thought I would see it. Even the 1 of. So its ability is 2 Dawn, activate main, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal 1 Smile type character card with the cost of 3 or less among them and play it. The first thing, we're playing 1 Smile type character. We are playing the Kurozumi Orochi. Orochi is a 2K counter, and on play, reveal 1 Artificial Devil Fruit Smile from your deck and add it to your hand. So you play this, you grab this, and then you discard it. I don't really understand. I don't understand. If any of you Limb players know about this tech, please explain in the comments below. To me, I do not get it at all. Next, we're not running any big drops, which I feel like I've seen a lot of Shanks in the Limb list. I've seen a lot of the Adio. Adios, the 9 cost or 8 cost Adio. I'd seen some 10 drop Dofis. I'd seen 9 drop Zoro, but it seems like we're just running a bunch of 5 costs and telling our opponent, fucking deal with it, idiot. I feel like this version of the list is worse against Lucci, but probably more consistent against maybe Shanks. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about Lim. I need to play the deck, but that is the new Lim list topping here, getting 5th place. Next we have Zoro, and you can see right off the bat, this is your Animal Zoro variant. Really nothing. This is what we've seen for the past couple of weeks. We are running 2 of the ST01 Luffys, 4 ST21 Luffys, 2 of the Monkey D Dragons. Besides that, generic animal stuff, generic Animal Zoro. We did see a different, like, we haven't seen any Animal Zoros actually perform at regionals. The one Zoro that we've seen was at Pasadena, played a completely different variant of Zoro, which I made a video about. If you want to check it out, it is on my channel page, but it's completely different from Animal Zoro, not a single animal in sight. Next, getting into the Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci's kind of been running the same stuff as well. The Tashigi, should Tashigi be here? I just don't think she's worth it if you're not running Smoker, honestly. Like, if you're not getting that activate main and it's a 5 Don 6k on play -4 cost for this turn, like, there's really no reason. Let me think. Are there any cards that are, there has to be cards that are activate main restless, like Laboon. You just play him and he's a repeatable effect. Like, I don't know why you'd play, how many Laboons are we playing? We're only playing 2 Laboons. I don't know why you'd play 2 Tashigis and not just 4 Laboons. Laboon, you sacrifice the 1k power, but his effect is repeatable. Like, you're sacrificing 1k power for a repeatable -4 cost, and I just don't think Tashigi's worth playing if you're not playing Smoker. But besides that, kind of your generic Rob Lucci list. We're running a lot of the cards that we were used to seeing, the Mancheris, Rebecca's, Rob Lucci's, Kaido's. No Jack. For me, Jack is an auto include. I love Jack in this deck. Makes it so consistent. Adds a very nice removal option. That's very easy to combo off with. So nice Rob Lucci list here. Next, we're getting into the Eustace Captain Mid. Eustace Captain Mid, honestly, this list has stayed relatively the same. I'm working on a new Useless Captain Mid list. It's not centered around this, but I did start warming up to the idea of the vanillas. I still need some more testing. But yeah, Eustace Captain Mid, just a very strong, consistent deck in the meta right now. Next we have Reiju, and god damn it, I hate this deck. God, I fucking hate Reiju. Running 3 of the Gamma Knives, and then if you're not used to the Reiju list, like, I don't want to go through it very in depth here, but these are the cards you need. These are kind of the auto includes, the 4-drop Ichiji, the 7-drop Ichiji, the 4-drop Reiju, Black Maria, very, very nice with the deck, and then the Searcher Sanji, very nice deck where I have the 4 of Porsches, and it's hard to deal with. Very hard to deal with, a very interesting play style that no deck mimics. Very unique deck, and I think a good design by the One Piece team there. And lastly, we have the Bonnie. Like I said, Bonnie players, it's time to innovate. This has been the same list forever. It is time to do something different. It's time to try some different cards. This deck has just been falling off a cliff. Yeah. Nothing much to say about the Bonnie. Just this list has almost been card for card for 4 or 5 weeks by now. Like, it's insane. We need to try something different here. Bonnie following all the way to the 10 slot is, like, with the leader ability this good, Bonnie should not be at the 10 slot ever. So yeah, guys, that were the deck lists. Now let's get into the matchups. So we're seeing here Shanks, very good matchup into Lim. I would have expected Lim to have a better matchup into Shanks just because she's been rising so much. But 63.7% into the Lim, 70% into the Usopp, and just kind of even across the board. Once again, Red Purple Luffy is just your best option into Shanks. And, like, I would expect Red Purple Luffy to be on this list just by virtue of this 62% win rate to Shanks. If Shanks is 33,000 matches played, and Red Purple Luffy by far is the best matchup into it. Interesting that he's not in the top 10. Maybe he'll replace, like, Bonnie or Reiju next week. Next we have the Blackbeard. Blackbeard very much struggling into the Dofi, 28%. Very much struggling into the Zoro, 38%. No surprises there. And then very good matchups into the Bonnie, into the Reiju. into a 55% win rate into Shanks. That's impressive. Very nice for the Blackbeard players. I'm surprised if Shanks isn't even playing that many huge on-play abilities. Like, we're running the ST21 Luffy's, we're running the Monkey Dragons, we're running the 10-drop Shanks, but it's just not enough, I guess. I would expect that to be more of an even matchup. Next we have Pluffy. Pluffy just even across the board, boys. Like, absolutely no horrible matchups, no amazing matchups, except the 67% win rate into Usopp. Just very, very consistent for the Pluffy. Next, get into Lim. I'm curious to see what her matchups are here. So 36% to Shanks, 54% into Blackbeard, 61%. Usopp just getting his ass handed to him by everyone, man. Holy shit. 61% for Lim into Usopp. I would have expected that to be flipped as well. I need to make an Usopp deck. Usopp deck dropping soon. I'm a cook, let me tell you. 63% into Bonnie. A very, very consistent deck, obviously. Like, nothing can really stop what she does. She just kind of does it and doesn't care what the fuck you're doing. So very nice. Lim seeing a lot of success here. Next we have Dofi. Dofi with a 71% win rate into Blackbeard, 63% win rate into Smoker. Reiju destroys Dofi. Holy shit. 31% into Reiju, 40% into Lucci, 35% into the Usopp. So we know that we know what decks can counter the Dofi, and we know what decks suffer against it. Just kind of to be expected by Dofi at this point. Next we have Lucci. Lucci finding a 46% win rate into Shanks. That is very, very nice. I think that was a lot lower last week. I could be mistaken. 34% to Blackbeard. Nothing you're doing about that. 26% to Usopp. Nothing you're doing about that. And 30% into Reiju. Not a lot you're doing about that either. But has a lot of good matchups. 69% into Bonnie. 64% into Kid. 65% into Zoro. So Lucci's kind of a mixed bag of very bad matchups and very good matchups. Next we have Usopp. I don't even want to talk about Usopp. Usopp ain't even on the list. Getting destroyed by absolutely fucking everyone. Yeah, we're skipping Usopp. Well, no, we'll talk about his shit. 33% into Pluffy, 30% into Shanks, 38% into Lim, 40% into Kid, 30% into Red Purple Luffy, 45% into Reiju, and then the 73% into Lucci. I'll mention Usopp. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cook though. I'm a cook. Let me cook. I'll be making an Usopp video soon. Next we have Zoro. Zoro just very consistent. 62% into Blackbeard, 34% into the Lucci. Yeah, not a lot to say about the Zoro. Smoker's not even worth talking about at this point. Hasn't had any major results. Isn't even in the top 10 anymore. I'm not sure why he, she, or he is included on this list anymore. Next we have the Kid. Kid seeing very nice success into the Shanks. 53%, 41% to Blackbeard, 59% to Usopp, 56% to Zoro, 53% to Smoker, 39% into Bonnie. So struggling against Bonnie just because we're playing a lot of big bodies. 59% into Red Purple Luffy and 58.7% into the Reiju. Next we have Bonnie. So let's see what's going wrong for Bonnie here. Losing the two most popular matchups. So 45% to Shanks, 38.8% into Blackbeard, 36% to Lim, 31% to Lucci, 45% to Usopp, 46% to Smoker. And then winning matchups, Red Purple Luffy dies against Bonnie, so I'm glad Bonnie's gone, so I can start playing Red Purple Luffy again. Well, Bonnie's not gone, but just a little bit out of the meta at the moment. Besides that, really good matchups. She doesn't really have any dominant matchups except Red Purple Luffy that are of note. Like 73% Red Purple Luffy and 60% into Yellow Kid. Red Purple Luffy, we've talked about him a lot in the rest, and he's not on the top 10. I don't know why these matchups are still here. And Reiju, I do want to look into Reiju's matchups. 47% into Shanks, 37% into Blackbeard, 53 into Pluffy, 51 into Lim, 69 into Dofi, 69 into Lucci, 55 into Usopp, 54 into Zoro, 58 into Smoker, 41 into Kid, 46 into Bonnie, 46 into Red Purple Luffy. So pretty good matchup spread. Very, very even. Kind of similar to Pluffy. Nothing too crazy in either direction, but a very consistent deck. So that is the video, I think. I think that's about it. I'm going to go run even though it's cold as hell. But yeah, guys, that is the video. Very interesting, like, meta shift here. Like we're seeing the top 5 kind of solidify, I think. Lim is a problem as shown by the London regionals. I feel like we're gonna see, like, this seems like a clear cut here. There seems like a clear cut. Zoro has not seen the results at regionals, although he is a berry farmer. Lucci, I don't see him going anywhere. Eustace Captain Kid, I don't see him anywhere. And I'd expect Bonnie to stay. I'd hope Bonnie stays in the top 10. Like, I just think that her ability is too good to be outside of the top 10. And I think this last Reiju spot will be fluctuating between different decks coming in and out. Maybe Red Purple Luffy, maybe Smoker. But yeah, I think this is a very solid top 10 and a very healthy meta at this point. We have a lot of counters into different decks. We have a lot of different decks being represented and a lot of decks that are viable and able to win. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoy your weekend. I hope you have a good for us, we have a long weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm off today. I hope you have an amazing day, amazing weekend, and I'll see you later, guys.